title of this video because this is a term that I never heard anyone use till I started like being up here in the forest in this rural area, and all the guys are like, you got to get after it. Like, you know what? Pinterest, you got to get after it. It's evergreen. Like, why are we not doing this? So, image for priest. I'm just arranging my desktop a little bit. I am a coach. I'm a consultant. I help people make more money with organic traffic, which is awesome. And this is like legit how I live my life, how I have been able to do all kinds of really fun adventures and still make money and still have a business. So I want to talk really quickly today about why Pinterest is better than any other platform for organic when it comes to social media. Now, Pinterest is this weird animal where it's in the social media column sometimes, it's in the search engine column sometimes, and it's kind of hard to define it. So let's just say that it's both for the simplicity. So here's why I think Pinterest is a great bet for you if we're comparing it to other social medias like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, as far as the life of your post and what you can get out of it. So here's why I think Pinterest is better. Now, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, right? I'm not Pollyanna. I'm not just trying to sell my program. So full disclosure, I teach a program called SmartPin Pro to help businesses create a Pinterest traffic machine. Get traffic from Pinterest to their site and then maximize that. I help you create a strategy from start to finish. How does Pinterest work? Here's a framework for creating a foundation strategy. Here's some advanced techniques, or all my advanced techniques for making you get even better results with that strategy. All right, so let me keep this really straight and short and to the point, because whether I taught a program on Pinterest or not, I would still be using Pinterest, and here's why. Pins forever. You pin it once and it works forever. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that content has a life of hours or maybe even minutes, right? You put it up, it either performs or doesn't perform, and then it's done. It's done. Even if you had something that did really, really, really well, a year, 2, 3 down the line, it's not going to all of a sudden pick up steam, right? It just doesn't happen. Okay. On Pinterest, your pin is there forever. Now you might say, well, I'm on my Instagram account and I can scroll backwards and I can see all my old stuff. Yeah, that's fine. What I'm talking about is your pin is working for you forever, right? So Instagram isn't like serving your old Instagram posts up over and over and over. But Pinterest will continue to serve your pin to people. So I want to talk about how that works. Now, first, here's the thing that I really like that Pinterest actually did recently. In November 2022, they sent out a newsletter and they said that form. And this is really good because there's so much pressure to create something that's going to go viral, and that doesn't always translate into dollars. There's been brands that are really awesome at doing this, but most of the time, in my experience, it doesn't really equate to a lot of dollars. So it not being viral really gives us a different way of looking at it. All right, now here's the thing. It not being viral is really good news. So I'm going to tell you a story about a pin I had from 2016. All right, this is a pin for a blog post that I made a lot of money off of because I sold to multiple companies. I used to kind of like do my own value stack, I guess, of like, sell this project to that company featuring their glue, and I'd sell this project to that company featuring their paint, and I'd sell this project to that company featuring something else, and it'd be the same project. I would just do like different stuff to it. So I had a post like that from 2016 that I think it was like the third iteration of a project. And, I'd already made all the money I was going to make off of it in my mind. Made the post, did a pin. The sponsor was requiring that I did a pin. Awesome. Did a pin. If I'm going to do a pin, I'm going to put the work into it. So I did that in 2016, right? And it just sat there. It didn't really do anything. I was like, I don't know if this is any good or whatever. But I did all the work that I needed to do to get it set up for success. And all of a sudden in 2020, my post took off. That pin started getting, in fact, it's one of my number one pins right now. Even 3 years later, 4 years later. So your pins can be sitting there just waiting to be served up. And what's the key? Why did that pin take off? Optimization. That is absolutely the key. So here's how Pinterest works. You're going to optimize your pins with the keywords, right? You're going to do keyword research. You're going to find out what keywords people are using to search for the thing that you got. You're going to put those keywords on your pin. Pinterest looks at your pin and looks at a bunch of different factors on the pin. So I'm going to keep this really short so we can get through it. But it looks at a lot of different factors on the pin, namely the keywords. It labels the pin with labels that it assigns based on the topic, and then it ranks each label for relevancy. So imagine I had a pin for chicken tacos. My favorite example is chicken tacos. I had a chicken taco recipe pin, and chicken taco as a keyword term, super duper relevant. Chicken, a lot less relevant. Mexican food, a little more relevant than chicken, but less relevant than chicken tacos. So do you kind of see that, right? All those labels would be assigned because I would have used those keywords, and it would be range of relevancy. So Pinterest then labels people based on their activity in a similar way that it labels the pin, right? I might have hovered over a glimmering pie, and so maybe that gave me a it's kind of relevant score. And then I clicked on a pin for how to knit a scarf, and so that's even more relevant to me because now I took an action, right? So they're going to assign different labels based on the activity that a pinner is taking. So then Pinterest plays a matching game, much like a 4-year-old. It goes, these labels on this pin, these labels on this person, let's match them up. And it them up in different surfaces within Pinterest. That's just the different parts of Pinterest, right? So it might match stuff up in your home feed, right? You notice that you do searches and your home feed is going to look different. In fact, when I'm logging into different client accounts or doing audits inside of my program, everyone's Pinterest feed looks totally different because their activity is different. So they've been assigned different labels, so they're getting assigned different pins, et cetera, et cetera. They also show up in search, et cetera. Okay, so Pinterest plays a matching game, right? Matches to the person that has similar labels, and then how the people react, right? This is what we call engagement. Did they click? Did they hover? Did they save it? Did they make it bigger? All those things are different signals that have a different score. And then Pinterest looks at how the people interacted with those pins, and it adjusts the relevancy score on the labels that it put on the pin. So if Pinterest matched my chicken taco recipe pin to other people that are interested in chicken tacos and they didn't click, Pinterest might think, oh, that pin's not very relevant to that. It's going to adjust the relevancy. The same with if it showed it to those people and they click, they save, they're doing all the things to it. So it'd be like, whoa, this is super relevant, and it would adjust the relevancy score. Then it shows it to more or fewer people based on that new relevancy score. Okay, and you can get real insights into, I'm going to get super technical, go to the Pinterest engineering blog and you can go and read how they do all of this there. You don't really need to understand that though to make better pins, right? What you need to understand is optimization. Anyone can do optimization to pins. You don't need to be like special, gifted, and talented person. You can't really screw this up. Well, hold on. Actually, you can. You can screw this up by not showing up. And that's in 2 ways. Either you don't pin at all, or you pin without optimization, right? Which a lot of people are like, I'm just going to put it on Pinterest and see how it does, and it's going to do great. Well, you got to put keywords on it. Times when people say, I'm doing everything on Pinterest and pinning all the time. I hired an agency, blah, blah, blah. I turned Tailwind on, which Tailwind is not a strategy. Tailwind is just a tool. And they come to me, I did all these things, and I go look at their pins, and I'm like, you did them, right? So you didn't set it up for success. It's like signing up to run a marathon, and you just bought some brand new running shoes. Like even then, like you're not prepared. So you got to prepare. So here's what to do. I'm going to give you really quick 4 things to do. Number 1, put pins on Pinterest, right? You got to put stuff out there. You got to show up. Now, do you need to show up like you got to do on Instagram and TikTok and all that every 3 seconds? No, you don't have to post that much stuff because you put the pin on, it lives forever. Step 2, optimize. optimize your pins, optimize your account, optimize all the places you can. I go into this in depth in my program, how to do the optimization. But essentially, optimization is putting keywords in the places where Pinterest can read them. So that might be like the pin title, the pin description, places like that. And then if you don't want to guess, right, you can get in my program and you get all the shortcuts and you skip all the trial and error. So that's step 3, join the program. Uh, you can go there by going to /SP21. And hold on, I think I have one here. Overlay, chat, captions. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, here, we'll give you the map. You can go to smartpin.pro/map and get my roadmap, which then puts you in a funnel, and then you find out about the program. All right, and then the final thing is do all the other stuff too that you love, right? Just if all you can do is add in a sprinkle of Pinterest, just do some of that because you just got to show up. You just got to start putting your stuff out there that's optimized because that pin will continue to be working for you forever, but it will only perform as well as you've optimized it, right? So if you just phone it in, it's not going to show up for you, right? You've got to put in the work, and it's not a lot of work for how much ROI you can get to do the optimization. Okay, so I'm not saying like do Pinterest and it's going to solve all your problems and rainbows will shoot out of the sky and you don't need to be on Instagram and you don't need to do any of this. Now, am I really on those other platforms as much? Not really. And that's just because like I value my time. And so I want to go live my life and I don't want to be like chained to my computer all the time. But that doesn't mean that Pinterest is like the only end all. Have a presence there and do all the other things that you like to do too. Do the other things in your business that help move the needle forward. And know that what you put on Pinterest is evergreen and it's going to be working for you. So you can't mess it up other than not showing up and not doing the optimization. That's it. It's pretty dang simple. All right. I'd love to know if you guys have any questions. It's very late here for me. Kind of a weird day that I'm up so late, but I figured I would get on here and talk and share this with you. I'm thinking about it all afternoon and I was like, you know what? I got to get on here and share. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, if you have an experience of an evergreen old pin taking off, I would love to hear about it. Post it down in the comments and let's continue to chat.